You've tuned into Culture Express on CCTV News. Welcome back. Imagine being transported to a whole new universe, experiencing things in a whole new way with perhaps even a whole new body. Films like The Matrix and Avatar put the concept of virtual reality on steroids, and it doesn't stop there. Besides movies and gaming, VR is also shaping other industries in a very big way, especially when combined with other technologies. One Chinese motion capture company is doing just that. Their latest VR and motion capture system is called Project Alice, and it's giving users a true sense of just how real virtual reality can get and just how controversial as well.
Luke, I am your father.
These Darth Vader-looking ski goggles are what people in the VR industry call a head-mounted display. And once I put them on, I can be in Star Wars or at a ski resort in the Swiss Alps. But that's nothing new. So what is? Get ready to enter the Matrix as Project Alice takes us down the rabbit hole.
In this world, there's almost no limit as to where you can go and what you can do. Now, in the virtual world of Project Alice, these wands are my hands, and they're capable of creating all kinds of cool stuff. I can blow balloons. They can become flashlights. They can even create all kinds of geometrical objects and shapes that I can move with the touch of a button. But the real fun begins when real-life objects like this basketball are matched to their virtual reality counterparts, because the more real virtual reality can become, the more immersive the experience is. Another important application for VR technology is in education, only they call it edutainment. Learning history can now be fun. Right now, I'm in the city streets of Old Beijing, the famous Qianmen area, and I can learn about all these buildings just by clicking a button. In virtual reality, the texts have been imposed on various objects that I can revolve and look at. Who knew that time travel is possible after all?
And from Qianmen in virtual reality to Qianmen in real life. Leading motion capture company Noitom has decided to unleash their newest technology in one of Beijing's oldest consumer streets. With Project Alice, Noitom is applying what they do best, capturing real-life objects like the basketball we saw earlier, and fusing it with virtual reality to create a multi-user and mixed reality experience.
Incredible, especially when I was taken to the outer space. I felt weightlessness. Everyone stepped back when the components of the car separate.
This
is my first VR experience, very immersive. I enjoy the interaction with my friends. The most exciting thing is that you can also touch the real objects in virtual world.
It's so real and surprising. It turns things in science fiction to be real. It seems that VR can take people to anywhere they can imagine and dream of. It's so cool.
Noitom's patented inertia sensor allows for movement tracking irrespective of camera signals. One of their earlier motion capture technology systems, Perception Neuron, was even purchased by hit HBO TV show Game of Thrones, and it was used to create that epic battle scene in Season 6. But winter's not the only thing that's coming, so is VR to China. The country owns the world's largest potential consumer group for VR. With the added advantages of manpower and capital, more and more startup companies are staking their domain in this industry. And Noitom is one of them. If the name of their company looks familiar, try reading it backwards. Tristan Dai is the co-founder and chief technology officer of Noitom. A magician never reveals his secrets, but Dai doesn't mind showing us how the rabbit is pulled out of the hat.
Actually, we call this hybrid tracking technology because by using pure optical cameras, you always have this.
Pull it out?
Yeah, you can,
Oh,
you can
okay.
just pull it by force.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a wireless sensor. So this sensor is communicating with the antenna back there, connecting to a computer. So
Right.
the computer is getting the data stream from the cameras and at the same time getting the data from the wireless sensor. So when the camera cannot see the marker, we can use the sensor data to do this so-called compensation or say data fusion.
As a
hybrid
backup.
tracking as a backup. Yeah.
And you've created this.
Yeah,
Your
this is
company
our
has created this.
patent.
You can't get this on
technology.
Taobao even if you
oh,
wanted
this
to.
is top secret.
Okay, you'd have to kill me if you told me how it worked, right?
Not necessarily, I think.
Now that we know how motion capturing works with VR, what can we expect from this exciting combination? For one thing, VR no longer has to be an isolating experience. Now you can go on a mission in a different world with your friends. And because real-life props are matched to their virtual reality counterparts, the gaming experience can feel more real than ever before. In part because, well, it's half real. Google's Tilt Brush is taking art to a whole new dimension. The air is your canvas, and you can paint 3D life-sized brush strokes of almost anything. Content production is still lacking in the VR industry, but already it's going beyond just gaming and films. Mind over matter. That's exactly what VR applications are helping people achieve. Whether it's a fear of heights or a desire to work on your balancing skills. VR is also helping children overcome their fear of water.
Det kändes som att jag var där, mitt i vattnet.
As more research and development is being pumped into this industry, more applications are also being created in other fields. However, despite all these new and exciting developments, the type of B2B VR technology we're seeing today still has a long way to go. For one thing, the freedom to roam around is limited, unless you want to piggyback a laptop and risk crashing into a wall. And despite its low latency, wearing the headset for more than 15 minutes can still cause dizziness. But the biggest issue is still standardization.
Now, Dr. Gao, you joined China's leading VR lab in 2003. During your PhD, you also made great contributions to the progress of VR technology, and you were also a visiting scholar to the University of Cambridge and Microsoft's Research Center. So I don't think there's a better person who can answer this question. What is the major challenge that faces VR technology today?
Right now, there is still no industry standards for virtual reality, but lacking standardization will greatly limit the growth of the technology and discourage interested consumers because of the overwhelming variety that's out there. The software standard includes things such as the operating system, data interface, programming language, modeling format, etc. The hardware component mainly involves the technical parameters of VR display and things like data gloves, headsets, force feedback devices, and infrared sensors.
Standardization might be the ultimate goal for developers and people in the industry, but for users, moderation is something to consider. Like a new video game, chocolate, or an iPhone, if VR technology can one day reach every household, it has an even greater potential of becoming addictive. Its powers of creating a parallel virtual universe can make us feel like anything is possible. The key is finding the right balance and knowing what the real limits are. Jennifer Hsiung, CCTV.